Caitlin Clark
Mm-hmm.
and
I'm a fan.
Angel Reese, right?
Yeah.
They're going back and
I'm a
forth.
fan of both.
And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She said about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ.
Stephen A. Smith just dropped a reality check on Angel Reese's entire WNBA journey, like he was canceling a show mid-season, after her latest on-court blunder, which had the internet collectively groaning. The basketball drama just got a whole lot spicier. If you thought the tension was contained to the court, prepare yourself, because Stephen A. didn't just speak, he detonated. Angel Reese might need a new strategy, and maybe a hazmat suit. What exactly did she do to ignite this firestorm? Trust me, you are absolutely not ready for this level of basketball mayhem. Let's get into it.
Black and white, it's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living you-know-what at that particular moment in time. And Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did. It would have never gotten to this point.
We have a lot of folks that have come to the defense of numerous WNBA players because they were pointing out, like, this has been going on before long and people are not hating on her. It's not about hating on her. It's that you feel she is getting a level of attention that you deserved and you warranted long before she ever came along.
4 points. That's it. That was the headline. Angel Reese somehow managed to scrape together a measly 4 points, looking like she was on a strict no-scoring diet, as if Caitlin Clark's mere absence magically zapped all offensive capability right out of her. We're talking about the Sky versus Fever game, where Caitlin, let's be crystal clear, wasn't even playing. The girl was sidelined, nursing an ankle injury, literally wrapped up like a mummy, sipping Gatorade and watching the game like a proud soccer mom from the bleachers. And Angel Reese still couldn't make her mark.
New season tipped off this weekend with several marquee matchups on the slate. Most fans were excited to see Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever take on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. The game was a blowout as the Fever beat down Chicago 93-58, with Clark's triple-double leading the way. But the biggest headline coming out of the game on Saturday is the investigation the WNBA is conducting into allegations of hateful fan comments directed at Angel Reese. It happened after this play when Clark slapped at the ball after Reese grabbed an offensive rebound.
Seriously, how do you step onto a professional court when the opposing team's biggest star is literally icing her ankle on the sidelines, and you decide, you know what? Today's the day I have the absolute worst game of my career. Let's make this epically bad. If her goal was to prove she's the anti-Caitlin, mission accomplished. While Caitlin was busy healing, Angel was out there putting up numbers so pitiful they deserved their own sad trombone soundtrack. 4 points isn't just a stat line, it's a desperate plea for offensive intervention.
Because I was calling it from day one. You got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of shine.
Now, she did manage to vacuum up her beloved 12 rebounds. Oh, she practically lives for those boards. You'd think each rebound came with a lifetime supply of Chick-fil-A, the way she attacks them like her entire career hinges on it, which, after this performance, it just might. If rebounds were gold bars, she'd be set for life. But actual points, buckets, any shred of offense, she's acting like scoring is beneath her, like she's doing the league a favor by refusing to drop double digits.
Second of it. Your thoughts?
Oh. First of all, it's not a rivalry. Not when you're losing by 35 points.
That's true.
It's not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than the Chicago Sky. Let's get that out the way. Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own that. Angel Reese can rebound the basketball. She's a damn good player. She's got a bright future in the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is next level.
You know things are dire when even the broadcast commentators are twisting themselves into pretzels, trying to convince us she's contributing in other ways. Other ways? Like what? Moral support? She looked like she was running a marathon for charity, doing cardio drills for 40 minutes straight. At one point, the camera zoomed in and she seemed to be contemplating a career switch to reality TV. The Real Stat Patters of Chicago, coming soon to a streaming service near you. Let's be honest, Angel Reese used to arrive with an aura of untouchable swagger, lashes laid, nails immaculate, attitude dialed to 11. But that recent stat line screams, I forgot there was a game today. Her entire showing was a flashing neon sign saying, I peaked in college. This isn't the dominant season she promised. It's less Bayou Barbie domination tour and more Desperate Housewives of the WNBA, with Angel holding the empty wine glass. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is literally getting targeted like she owes the league money, yet she still finds ways to make an impact, dishing out assists and draining threes when they actually let her shoot, all while somehow still getting double teamed like Steph Curry's long-lost three-point shooting cousin.
Elaborate a little bit more on that in just a second, but before I do that, I want to ask you your thoughts about apparently some racial animus that was thrown in the direction of Angel Reese. The Chicago Sky have gotten involved, talking about they're going to protect their players at all costs. The WNBA has issued a statement saying it abhors and discourages hate of any kind, etc., etc. Your thoughts about it? Here's the WNBA statement. The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. We are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter. Your thoughts about that element of all of this, where you believe it emanates from, and do you think it will ever subside?
Oh man, the latter part of that, Stephen A, is quite the thing to think on. I think when you go back to the impetus of the rivalry that we have between Caitlin and Angel Reese, I remember funny clips on the internet.
Angel had the prime spot, the full glare of the spotlight, the mic, the backup dancers, and somehow still fumbled her lines. And that whole 12 rebound flex? Let's be real, not all rebounds are created equal. Angel's out there grabbing boards like the ball personally insulted her mother. Stat padding has become her full-time gig. She boxes out opponents like she's auditioning for a CrossFit commercial, only to turn around and launch a shot that looks like an abstract art project. At this point, she's just hoarding boards like a kid collecting Pokemon cards. Gotta catch them all, but then does absolutely nothing with them. And now the whispers have begun. Those ominous sports whispers about being benched, dropped, or simply forgotten. The WNBA isn't high school, where effort earns you a gold star. If you're not scoring, you're sitting. And right now, Angel Reese's biggest contribution might be her courtside fashion. If her minutes dwindle, she might want to start checking in with the wardrobe department instead of the coaching staff. This was supposed to be her breakout season, the moment she silenced critics and proved she's more than just attitude with no altitude. Instead, she's become the athletic equivalent of a viral TikTok trend that burned out after 2 weeks. Remember the milk crate challenge? That's Angel's career trajectory right now. Started with a bang, took one wobbly step, and now we're watching the slow motion collapse.
Caitlin Clark's or Angel Reese's popularity in large part is attributed to her behavior towards Caitlin Clark, because when Caitlin Clark was busy taunting opponents a couple of years back before LSU smacked Iowa around in the national championship game or so, it was Angel Reese that was clapping back at Caitlin Clark once it was Caitlin Clark's turn to have her comeuppance. And that's what made Angel Reese famous. Now, Angel Reese experienced vitriol thereafter. It was tough for her to deal with, as she articulated, and that's unfortunate because we got some no good ass people in it.
Don't get it twisted. People genuinely wanted her to succeed. She's a walking headline, a quote machine, the perfect catalyst for drama and rivalry, WNBA gold. But all that glitters means absolutely nothing if you can't consistently put points on the board. 4 points simply isn't going to cut it unless this is some avant-garde performance art where she's making a profound statement about minimalism in professional sports. Now, the fans are noticing and Twitter blew up like draft night. 4 points? Is she okay? Rebounding queen, but offensive ghost. It's getting brutal. Even the staunchest Angel Reese diehards are out here writing deeply analytical think pieces like, perhaps it's time we admit she's struggling. Yes, Karen, she's struggling like a tumbleweed in a hurricane. What makes it even more painful is the stark contrast. Caitlin Clark's mere existence highlights every single flaw in Angel's game. It's like putting a glaring highlighter on your typos. While Caitlin is out with an injury, still dominating the conversation, Angel Reese is out there with a perfectly healthy body and a clear path, yet somehow manages to trip over her own potential. And now, the rumors are swirling, the kind that permeate locker rooms like the scent of desperation. Will she be moved to the bench? Will they rest her for development reasons? That's front office code for we have no clue what to do with her, but don't want to say it out loud. The Sky didn't sign up for a full-time rebounder who acts allergic to the basket.
This is only women that get this. I'm tired of it. Like, here's my thing, you guys. What else? Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark? Are you just combing through Twitter? What else are these women supposed to do? Fawn over her? Bend the fucking knee? Kiss the ring? Like, what do you want from them? We cannot, every time the girl plays a game, she got 40 games, guys. She got 35 more games. We are not every single game gonna revisit and retread this same tired ass rhetoric that all these girls are hating on her, and they need to be thankful they have been.
They want a dominant presence. A true leader, someone who actually shows up and shows out, not a player whose stat line looks like a losing lottery ticket. If this is truly her worst start to a season, it's not just a minor slump, it's a full-blown siren call. And let me tell you, the WNBA doesn't hand out charity minutes. You don't get to coast on your college fame. LSU highlights don't win games here. The moment you stop producing, you become a permanent bench fixture with fantastic lashes and a motivational Instagram bio. Hustle, grind, stay humble. How about a score for once? And you just know Stephen A. Smith saw that box score, put on his glasses with a dramatic sigh, and screamed into the void, 4 points? 4 points? Somewhere, he's already warming up his signature monologue. This young lady, listen to me now, this young lady better recognize she's not in Baton Rouge anymore. And he's not wrong. Angel Reese needs to find her rhythm, and fast, before that stat sheet starts looking like a blank post-it note. Nobody expects her to drop 40 points, but can we at least get a double-digit night? Maybe sprinkle in an assist? A single moment of offensive clarity? Right now, watching her play offense is like watching someone try to microwave a steak. Confusing and utterly upsetting, and the pressure isn't easing up. Every game, every minute on the floor is now a brutal test. She's not just playing basketball, she's auditioning for her very survival in the league. This isn't the NCAA, where crowds chant your name and every rebound gets its own dramatic montage. This is the WNBA, where they will bench you mid-sentence if your production doesn't match your promo.
And she wreaks havoc. She's the rookie of the year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie year.
Wow.
Outstanding. She's like Steph Curry. She can pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Didn't win a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. Lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the #1 overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats.
Angel Reese now has 2 stark options. Either she rebounds, both literally and figuratively, or she risks becoming the cautionary tale that ESPN turns into a 30 for 30 special. Picture it. What if Angel never scored? Featuring dramatic piano music and slow motion replays of missed layups. The clock is ticking. The stage is still set, but the spotlight is rapidly shifting. If Angel doesn't light it up soon, she won't just be off the court, she'll be entirely out of the conversation. And now, let's talk about Tyler Marsh, the man with the clipboard, the headset, and seemingly a Rubik's Cube strategy for Angel Reese's positioning. He's been shuffling her around the court like a frantic, confused game of Twister. Now you're a power forward. Now you're a stretch forward. Now, What even is that formation, coach? It's as if he's trying to solve her performance issues with interpretive dance. But here's the crushing reality. All that tactical shuffling isn't masking the glaring fact that Angel Reese simply isn't producing. It's like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic and then wondering why the ship is still sinking. Tyler Marsh could stick her in the paint, on the perimeter, or even in the arena parking lot. It won't matter if she's still out there putting up 4 points and hoarding rebounds like it's her only side hustle. Houston, or in this case Chicago, we have a major problem.
She balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star, ended up being 4th in the league in MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard when it was really all said and done. We know what she brings to the table.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has been sidelined, genuinely injured, and she's still effortlessly managed to remain the WNBA's main character. She could be in a full leg brace, shooting hoops from a wheelchair, and she'd still rack up more buckets and assists than Angel Reese did last game. Even on her worst day, Caitlin finds a way to contribute. You could blindfold her, toss her onto the court, and she'd probably still drop a triple-double just to spite her haters. So imagine this. Caitlin Clark comes back from injury, fully rested, undeniably angry, and armed with more fire than a dragon fueled by espresso shots. The Fever will plug her back in like a cheat code. Meanwhile, the Sky will still be scratching their heads, wondering if Angel Reese is ever going to remember how to shoot a basketball. Not even make it, just attempt it like she means it. It's not even subtle anymore. If you watch the Sky play, there's a clockwork moment when the ball lands in Angel's hands, and the fans collectively, not cheer, not gasp, but let out that tragic, disappointed, "Oh God, not again" sigh, like they're watching someone desperately try to unlock an iPhone with the wrong fingerprint over and over again. At this point, it's become performance art. And look, when your coach is actively shifting your role around mid-season just to see what might accidentally work, that's never a good sign. That's not a development strategy. That's coaching roulette. It means they don't trust you to handle the fundamentals, so they're just hoping that if they move you around enough, you'll somehow bump into success by sheer accident.
I actually feel bad for Angel Reese at this point, and it has nothing to do with like how she's handled herself or anything. It's just simply Caitlin Clark is so much better than Angel Reese at basketball that it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, I think Angel Reese is struggling with the fact that Caitlin Clark is better at her best thing than she is.
She's better at everything.
And
she had a triple-double. She's tied for the third most triple-doubles in WNBA history, and she's played 50 games.
Yeah.
But let's just call it what it is. Angel Reese is underperforming. She's not adjusting, not developing, and certainly not contributing in any meaningful, intangible ways. She is simply underperforming. And every game she spends on that court while Caitlin Clark heals, the comparison just gets uglier. Because when Caitlin returns, she's not going to gently ease back into mediocrity. She's going to explode. She's going to emphatically remind everyone why her jersey sales are shattering records while Angels are gathering dust next to last year's Halloween clearance bin. The WNBA doesn't need Angel Reese to be a rebound queen with a toddler-level scoring average. It needs leaders, bucket getters, game changers, and right now, Angel is bringing vibes, not victories. No, the Sky will never truly improve until they address the angel-sized elephant dominating the room. You simply cannot build a winning team around someone whose most consistent stat is their public attitude. There are only so many "I'm her" tweets you can post before the box score screams a different story. Let's be brutally honest. Overrated is starting to feel like an understatement. This isn't hate. It's cold, hard reality. The hype machine did its job. Angel was the media darling, the NIL queen, the Bayou Barbie. But then the bright lights came on in the big leagues, and suddenly all the glitter started peeling away. 4 points and a highlight reel of missed layups don't scream generational talent. They scream, "Hey, remember me from college?"
Unfortunately, it comes with the crown.
I got to push back on you a little bit.
Okay.
I think you're being a little bit too PC. Let's call it what it is. I am not trying to say that she should be criticized or she is wrong. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong with it. Now, yes, you are 22. Yes, you are young. And there's a lot of things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. Fair enough, especially me, okay? Because I'm 30 plus years removed from that age. I got that part. There was no social media then or whatever. But here's my point to you. She knows there's social media.
It's not just the fans, even the locker room vibes must be tense. Teammates are grinding it out, watching her post pre-game selfies while they carry the actual scoring load. At some point, you simply can't fake leadership with Instagram filters. The court doesn't care how many followers you've got. It cares how many times you actually show up and do something, which Angel hasn't. Now imagine you're a young player on the Sky's roster, busting your butt in practice, getting a measly 2 minutes of game time, while Angel Reese plays 30 minutes of glorified cardio, grabbing 12 rebounds that led to absolutely nothing. That's gotta be a morale killer. You're watching someone burn through playing time like it's Monopoly money, and all you can do is politely clap from the bench. The Sky front office must be watching this disaster unfold like a reality show they never signed up for. What if we bet the entire house on someone who peaked on TikTok? It's the kind of catastrophic miscalculation that keeps general managers wide awake at night. And Tyler Marsh, he's probably aging in dog years trying to figure out how to salvage this, because eventually you have to cut your losses. You can't keep waiting for potential to finally show up like a perpetually delayed Amazon package. If Angel Reese doesn't figure it out, and fast, the Sky will have no choice but to prioritize players who actually produce. The league simply doesn't have time for redemption arcs that never actually redeem.
There's a group of them that would hope for her to be out, but
why do you say she's going to be the Jackie Robinson of the WNBA?
Well,
it's not like she's the first white girl.
She's not the first white girl, but she's the first white superstar at the levels where she's scoring these, the threes she's shooting. She's like a Steph Curry. She's the first actual superstar that people care. When's the last time we watched like college basketball? If I told you, tell me the greatest college basketball female basketball players last 30 years, and you watch.
Let's not forget the fans. They were sold the dream. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. Fireworks, intense rivalry, blockbuster ratings. Instead, they got Caitlin carrying the league narrative on one leg, and Angel out there running wind sprints disguised as professional minutes. It's like buying VIP tickets to a concert and then realizing the headliner forgot their own lyrics. If Caitlin comes back and starts dropping 20 or even 30 points, while Angel is still stat padding her rebounds like she's building a personal museum, the comparison won't just be funny anymore. It'll be tragic. It will serve as Exhibit A in how hype doesn't always translate into actual on-court performance. So yes, the Sky will never genuinely improve until they fix this chaotic mess, and that might mean making some incredibly difficult choices. Perhaps it's time to openly admit what everyone's whispering. The Angel Reese experiment simply isn't working, not until she finds her actual game and finds it fast. Otherwise, she'll plummet from merely overrated to utterly irrelevant in record time, and when that happens, not even 12 rebounds will be able to save her.